YouTube, what's going on? It's Kale, man. We're back with another video. And you guys would not believe what I got my hands on today for this haircut tutorial. Today, we will be using the JRL, I believe it's called the Fresh Fade 2020 pack. It says FF2020 on the box. I didn't do too much research with this clipper, but I knew JRL has been working on some very, very good products. And I finally got my hands on a pair. All thanks to Brochet's Beauty Supply. Anything you need, if you're in this Southwest Houston area, or even if you're in the Houston area in general, Brochet's has it all. Once again, I just want to give Brochet's Beauty Supply a big shout out. Quick hip fire review. It's just a beautiful looking clipper. It reminds me of a kaleidoscope for some reason. You see how the details of the ridges are very apparent. It's not just one shape. There's so many angles and definition designed on these tools. Originally black and gold, but they feel great in my hands already. You guys know that I do always cut with gloves on, so I'm sure they're gonna feel even better. They're not heavy. I heard they're super quiet, and that's one of the biggest components of having this clipper here. Wall guard system works perfectly on these, so that's what we're going to be using today, guys. You guys know how I do it. Those are my initial thoughts. After the tutorial, stay tuned, and I'll give you guys my overall thoughts after using them for the first time. Once again, this is the FF2020 collection. Let's get into it. I'm excited. Let's see what these are about. YouTube, I am back with another haircut tutorial, and this time we're going to be doing a high fade with a beard trim as well. So let's get into it. Like this video as it helps with the algorithm. We're going to begin by combing the hair, direction of its growth pattern, making sure everything is lifted so that we can set up preparation for this fade. We're going to go in with the JRL trimmers, creating our bald line. And with this bald guideline, we want to completely take the C-cup area out of the equation. Order and neatness is key, so after every movement we create, I'm going behind it with the brush or a comb to clear that canvas and make sure everything is set. Same thing on the other side, setting that bald line in to remove the C-cups, and that's the perfect height that we want to set it in to begin this fade here. I'm cleaning up everything else underneath that. We're also dropping it a tad bit just to contour and complement his head shape. And we're getting everything underneath that with the trimmer extremely clean so we can follow it up with the shaver to create the smoothest blend possible. Take your time if you have to attack these lines multiple times just to make sure it's nice and neat. That's going to set you up for success. So I don't want to move on until this guideline is properly established. Now we're going in with the razor shaver, getting everything nice and clean, making sure this fade is as tight as we can get it. Just being real diligent here. Now we go in with no guard open, and we're setting our first guideline. Not quite halfway up in terms of between the bald line and the parietal ridge, but I would say maybe a third of the way up. And here we're standing at top range of the guideline until we begin to close the clipper. These JRLs are going to work. We drop it down right there just a tad. We're in that fourth notch, following up with our brush after every stroke, just to see the progress we're making here. And I'm keeping my eyes on the prize, making sure I am getting this blend to my liking. And you see here, we close it halfway, so we're in that third notch. And we're gonna stay in that mid-range. We're blending in that mid-range to make sure this fade comes together. And we drop it once again, and we're in the second notch, which is second to close. Here you see me close it. I'm following up with that brush, and we're blending that shaver line into the ball line we set in with the trimmers. It's just that simple. You want to walk down these fades like this, and then you can go back as you see me here now, going back to stretch that fade, open it up just a little more. You want to assess every single haircut regardless of the method you use, just to ensure that you account for densities, you account for different hair types, different hair textures. So we just stretch that blend a little bit more to my liking so that this haircut will be well put together.
Winning lottery numbers coming up.
Same thing on the other side. We're going to connect the sides to the back and the back to the sides. And now we go in with the one guard open, and we're flirting with that parietal ridge, but we're not quite there. And you see I switched to the comb. The comb is going to lift the hair and clear the canvas. And we drop that one guard halfway, which is from that 5th notch to the 3rd notch. So the one guard is halfway closed, just to soften that half guard line up. As you can see, it is getting very soft. And we're going to flip that one guard, open it all the way up. And this technique here is called smoothing. We didn't cut off the bulk initially at the beginning of the haircut, so we're tapping into that now. And we're also knocking down the bulk in that parietal ridge area so that the 1.5 guard transitions smoothly from the side of the fade to the top of the bulk, to the top of the haircut. We jump back to our half guard, and this half guard is going to connect that bald guy that we created to that one guard open we created. Now we're using the 1.5 guard. I'm telling you, these fades are easy. You just got to stick to the script, assess every situation, and be able to make adjustments on the fly. Not every haircut is going to turn out the same way if you're using one method. Sometimes you got to improvise a little bit, and that's what this creative space here in barbering is all about. Being creative, thinking for yourself, and not being cookie cutter. Like, there's no cookie cutter approach to this job here. So we got the 1.5 guard halfway closed, and it's really connecting the blend, but we're gonna follow up with the one guard open to stretch it up just a little bit more. And then we'll be done with the side. So here's that one guard open. And now it's connected. You know, I haven't dropped a YouTube video in a couple weeks, 2 going on 3 weeks, and it's because I've been in the process of moving, and I'm also a power lifter, so I've been getting ready for prep for my competition. But nevertheless, we are back and we are in full effect here. And I want to talk to you guys about just being diligent, staying focused, remaining level-headed through the grind. Like, there's gonna be adversity, there's gonna be setbacks, there's gonna be impediments throughout your whole life. There's gonna be peaks and valleys, right? But it's all about how you manage those peaks and valleys, how you approach challenges. And it's inevitable. You know that they're coming. You know there are gonna be rainy days. You know there's gonna be days where you feel like you're on top of the world. But just know that it's for the time being. So if you're down, if you're depressed, if you're demotivated, understand it will not be forever, and there's light at the end of the tunnel. Also, when things are going too well for you to the point where you can't believe it, or where things are kosher and cush, understand that that is just a moment in time. It's a phase, it's a season, and that time shall pass as well. But throughout those peaks and valleys, throughout that turbulence, how do you remain? Do you remain calm? Do you take things for what it is? Are you present? That's how you build character. That's how you develop wisdom and prepare yourself for anything. Remain diligent, be proactive, lock in with your intentions, and understand it's just a moment in time, whatever you're going through, and be present in that moment. So as we jump back into this lineup here, we start with the vertical bars. After doing a proper lineup preparation, we move on from the vertical bars and we start in the middle. In the front hairline, we make sure we're checking out our our site picture and we make our adjustments. And then we move to the other side. We start at the vertical bars to match the vertical bars we did initially. And then from there, we connect the dots. We use our reference points visually to keep us on track. And we're constantly checking our site picture just to make sure what we're seeing is what we're creating. You see, I'm just tapping the hairline, not doing too much, not applying too much pressure because the tools are sharp. Now here we move on to the beard. We're gonna fade the sideburns on the beard, starting with the one guard open, and then we drop down to the lever and we're just lever playing with the sideburns. And we're using that brush constantly to clear the canvas and reset everything. We jump back up to the one guard open, and then we jump into the 1.5 guard to connect everything. Same thing on the other side, starting with the half guard. I'm just jumping around, honestly. No guard open. And we're playing around with the one guard and we're playing around with the 1.5 guard. Now with the semi-permanent color enhancements, we are taking this haircut to another level. And take note of how I'm spraying for these vertical bars. That angle is exactly the angle you want to approach the vertical bars when it comes to the semi-permanents. You want it to be a thin application. You don't want it to be a major splatter. And you want to make sure you control how much is being applied. Just going above and beyond back here with the semi-permanent hair color. That's one thing you can do to create another shade of darkness back there in those areas. And then when it comes to the beard, we're just taking our time. We're not trying to do too much with the beard. Just trying to apply it in a subtle way. Not trying to overdo it. We're playing our position. And as you can see, it's not looking artificial. It's not popping too hard. But you can definitely tell there's something going on with the beard that's giving it an edge, that's giving it some flavor, some pop. And then we follow back with the fibers. After the enhancements to lock everything and add another level of definition to the haircut. And now it's razor time. This is my favorite part, especially when it comes to really bringing these beards together. And we're just taking our time, gliding the razor at the perfect angle. And we're gonna wipe it away with the comb just to make our mark and solidify what we stamping here. You want to stamp these beards and then clear the canvas with your comb or brush and go back in once more. And we're doing the same thing with the other side, making sure both sides are symmetrical to really complement this beard and complement the overall haircut. And we're going behind the enhancements with our sharpest trimmer. Do our finishing and detail work. And as you can see, man, the fade, the beard, the razor work, the trimmer work, it's there. And now we're going back here with our one guard open. I see some areas that I want to detail, and we're gonna slow it down for you right here. You can see that fade is blurry. This is just a fire angle, man. Sometimes you gotta admire your work. I know we get so caught up in the grind of just haircut after haircut after haircut, but take a second, record your work, review your work, admire your work, and that's what I'm doing right now as I'm putting the finishing touches on it. My client knows it's there, I know it's there, and we're just playing around at this point, not doing too much, just making sure everything is nice and neat. And we're just coasting the top getting those loose hairs to lie down, getting those loose hairs knocked down. You know, it's haircuts like these that motivate me to really lock in and give my best, and that's what we do it for, guys. This is how he checked in, and this is how we are sending him out. YouTube, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate you guys subscribing and watching the videos that I've been dropping the last couple of weeks. I asked you guys for 10 likes in one of my videos, and I don't know what I was thinking because you guys dominated with over 100 likes, and I can't be more appreciative for the amount of effort and support you guys have been giving. Let me know what you guys think about this one. If you guys have any concerns or questions, let me know and I'll get back to you ASAP. Peace. Here we go, man. Find a moment.
Woo-wee.
Let me know if there's anything I can touch up for you.
You just redefined the word crispy, my boy.
I'll let you see the back as well. Everything looking vacation ready.
Yes, sir. A1.
Everything good?
Thank you, Doc.
Absolutely, man. What's up, YouTube? It's the next day. I had just enough battery to record the tutorial. Honestly, pretty satisfied with this clipper. It's definitely up there with the premium brands like Fabulous, The Wall, the Stylecraft, which I will probably end up getting my hands on a pair of the Stylecrafts. Hopefully it's the Instincts, I believe. I haven't worked with that brand before. I haven't used that brand before, but they're on sale right now. But for $250, you can't go wrong if you're looking for quality clippers and trimmers. They come with the charging dock. I'm not a fan of the charging dock. It's gimpy and unstable. Like it doesn't stand up strong versus some of the other charging docks that I'm used to using. These are nicely gapped, and if you can nicely gap these, you'll be able to execute some pretty dope, straight and smooth lineups. I don't know what the RPMs are for this clipper, but it is very strong. It's cutting through bulk. I believe the selling point with this clipper is that it's very quiet, which it is very quiet. And the all red low pro ones that I had were also very quiet, but over time they started to squeak, they started to make noise, they started to get loud. And I don't know if this will be the same case, but I'm gonna base it off of my experience, the tools I've been using, and the low pro ones start making noise. I've oiled them, I've deep cleaned them, I've removed all the hair and gunk out of them with my air compressor, and they still are loud. In the box of these, it really emphasized the fact that this was a quiet clipper, and it was a quiet clipper initially. I'm not trying to knock down these or bash these, but it's just something to think about. But also, these clippers aren't super loud to the point where it's unbearable and you feel like something's wrong with the clipper. It's still gonna get the job done. It's still gonna cut hair. It's not extremely loud. It's not unbearable, but that is something to consider. $250, you can't go wrong. If you're gonna get a clipper and a trimmer for $250, this is probably worth $150, $160, and this is probably worth around that $90 price range. How would I compare these to the Wall Magic Clip pack that I used a video or two ago? I'm definitely leaning towards that Wall pack, maybe because I've had more hands-on experience with those, but those Wall detailers, they just feel so good in my hands, and the design of them makes it super easy for me to line up. I noticed when I got here with the lineups for the front line, these weren't as skeleton enough. So, and I'm kind of short, so this is my personal opinion, but I had to overreach and angle this down even more versus pressing here and being able to tap my client's hairline. I don't know if my height has something to do with that, but I definitely feel like I was limited in terms of doing the front line with this trimmer here. With the Wall detailers, with my Andes GTXs, I never have that issue. Even with the old and faithful Fabulous FX trimmers, Never had that issue. And these are pretty well designed ergonomically to allow me to give out lineups with no issues. If this was a little more skeleton, or if they gave you the option to remove it, like Babyliss is doing lately, remove this this part of the housing, then I will put this trimmer up there with the wall detailers, but I gotta give the edge to the wall detailers as of now. The JRL 2020 Fresh Fade versus the Magic Clip. I'm gonna give the Magic Clip the edge because the Magic Clip is just a jack of all trades. It really holds its own. It's been here for years. Since I started barber school, that was my very first clipper. So I'm gonna give the edge to the Magic Clip, but I will say the 5-point locking system on here and whatever type of blade this is, it's JRL standard blade. It's incredible. It's very lightweight and it feels great in your hand. But I'm still gonna give the edge to the Magic Clip. That's just how I'm coming. The wall guard system works well with this clipper. So if you do have the wall guard system and you like their premium guards versus using whatever basic plastic guards come with this pack, that may be your way into getting your hands on these. With that being said, guys, that was my quick fire review on the FF2020 JRL pack. I'm gonna be getting my hands on some more clippers, best believe that. Let me know in the comment section what you think I should get my hands on. Should it be a detachable clipper? Should it be a clipper from a brand that I haven't tried before? Let me know, guys, and I'm gonna see what I can pull off. Don't forget to comment, don't forget to like, don't forget to line up the subscribe button. And I'm Kale, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Salute.